Hello and welcome to this Stampscapes replay. In this card we'll be using the printable vinyl holographic sticker paper. And this one has kind of a shimmer to it. It's not just the straight holographic, but it has kind of a, I'd call it a glittery type of surface to it. Just a little bit of shimmer. It kind of makes it a little bit more exciting than just the basic holographic. Okay, and what we're doing here is we're doing some blocking out with the water-based, which is really important, Brilliance pigment ink, okay? I'm adding this in the background in the form of, I guess it will represent some clouds, but it's also going to be blocking out some of that sticker paper, that holographic patterning, that would have shown up in the rocks of the stamp that I'm going to be stamping in that position. Down below, it's going to represent water, but I wanted to be able to stamp out these pair of ducks down there, and I didn't want all of that glitter to be showing right through them as if they were a window or something like that, and that's why we do this blocking out. Okay. That is what it looks like in the background. You don't have to have it all smooth or anything like that. Clouds are really kind of amorphic and varied. There is the Lakeside Cove large stamped in the StazOn ink. You can use other types of ink. The StazOn or another Brilliance black works really well though. There's the Ducks in Water large down below. And here come my Scenic Sentiments. All of these are stamped in StazOn, by the way. StazOn, it works really good on this, but also the water-based ink works on this printable vinyl because that's the type of inks that you would find in an inkjet printer. Okay, now right there I've stamped these oak branches in a water-based or dye-based green. It's a very dark green. And it looks a lot lighter when stamped over that white Brilliance ink, so I will add a couple more impressions using this oak branch, but going back to the StazOn, so I have some branches that are both green, kind of a light green and darker green, as well as black, giving that foreground area some depth. Okay, adding a little bit of texturing in with the tiny rocks small down below. It's supposed to represent some, kind of rocks under the water. Okay, now, we don't have to do this, and I think the card looks okay without it, but Brilliance ink paired with printable vinyl sticker papers really make a pretty dynamic combination because you can color that Brilliance ink that is applied and very well adhered to the printable vinyl. You can color it with colored pencils or, your traditional hard media that would require a little bit of tooth to it. I wouldn't call this Brilliance ink as having a lot of tooth to it and, texture, but it does give it enough texture where that as you can see, the colored pencil applies to it without any kind of problem. You can't really build up, 5 or 6 layers of colored pencil on top of this Brilliance ink. But I'd say about 2, 3, 4 layers, lightly coated, work no problem at all. Okay, adding a little bit of blue tones down there while I added that white. And following up with some black in the deeper areas of the shadow with those colored pencils, going into the ducks right here. Making one a little bit brown, making the other one, kind of more mallard colored or something like that. Just adding a little bit of color into those ducks. And that really, it models the imagery really nicely when you can have those colored pencils. Adding some more foreground here in the form of the reeds large. Be careful not to stamp, your reeds over your subject matters, your ducks there. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of going full circle now. I'm going back to the white pigment ink, the white Brilliance ink, and applying it in a couple different areas of the image that we first stamped out in the Lakeside Cove large. And that gives a kind of a waterside mist to some of those rocks, and some of those background trees are made a little bit lighter, giving them more depth. I like to double mount my cards, usually with a little bit of a white border like that, and this is a pre-folded card here that I'm going to be mounting it on, just using my tape runner. And that is the card, a pretty quick and easy card, and I think very effective. It's fun playing around with these holographics. Oh, this is one more thing that I'm doing here in the form of the white acrylic paint pen. I'm adding in some highlights on tops of those rocks. You can see the Brilliance white looks pretty white on there, but when you add this, very white acrylic paint, it gives that white a little bit more dimension. So I'm adding it on the tops of those rocks. So I shaded the base of the rocks with the colored pencils, and I highlighted the tops of the rocks with the white paint pen, going and adding a few more highlights on some of these objects with the pen, giving things a little bit more dimension. That is the Valentine's card 2023. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks so much for watching.